4 to 5 years ago, people were kind of stuck indoors, and some of them decided to pick up PC gaming, whether they were coming back to it or trying it for the very first time. And one of the things with those individuals is they didn't want to spend a lot on peripherals. For those individuals, I actually think buying a budget gaming mouse was much more simple. You had mice like the Razer Viper Mini, the Logitech G305, the glorious Model O, and the Razer Death Adder. There wasn't much else, to be honest, because it was either more expensive or very flawed in sometimes very critical ways. I go back and look at some videos that some very popular content creators have made in the past. They've tried out these mice that you can get on Amazon for 15, 20, 30 quid up, and some of them just simply don't work. Nowadays, I actually think it's a lot more exhausting and complicated to buy a gaming mouse. With the advancements of technology and the availability of some of these parts that are needed to make these budget gaming mice, there are just so many of them out there. How do you choose? I made a video not too long ago actually describing about how you should go about finding the right mouse for you before you go purchasing anything. So I would recommend watching that video before you watch this one to give you a sense of what you need to look for. Whereas this is kind of just not a rant, but more of a talk about budget gaming mice and how you can figure it all out. For someone who's still relatively active in the kind of nerdy gaming mouse scene, I find it so confusing with these constant new releases of mice from brands you've never heard of, and then you'll see a video promoting it on TikTok Shop and all the comments are like, what about this one? Attack Shark this. You just think, are you right? Are you wrong? Who knows? Also, right, when we say budget, I'm meaning anything kind of 50 quid or £50 or $50 or whatever it is and under. You're never going to convince me that 80 quid or $80 or whatever is budget. Not too long ago, that was near a flagship price. And you've got some of these, what you would call premium tier manufacturers like Zowie, Logitech, Razer. They put some of their flagship mice models within that range. So, staying around the 50 mark, I did a small amount of research and decided if I'm going to make this video, I actually need to purchase some of these mice so I know what the hell I'm talking about. So I did. I just want to note on a side point that I purchased these mice. This video is not sponsored in any way, and I feel like that's kind of important in terms of context for what I'm about to say next. So, the three mice I bought are the Attack Shark R6, the VXE R Mad Major, and the MChose L7 Ultra. All of these mice I have found or seen for kind of 50 quid or under. And I decided to buy their top end variants, which usually cap around that 50 mark, to give them the best chance at impressing in comparison to the other gaming mice we are comparing to, sometimes up to 3 times their cost. And TLDR, or in this case TLDW, they're stellar, they're great mice. The TikTok comments are correct, I would say. Mostly. However, we're going to initially focus on the negative points, just to get them out of the way, and we're going to start with the confusing naming schemes of these mice. For example, if I give you 4 different mice from the same company, I want you to tell me which one is the latest one with the greatest specs. Okay, are we ready? So we have the Attack Shark X3, the Attack Shark R3, the Attack Shark R6, and the Attack Shark X11. Okay, so you've got X and R and a variety of numbers. You might think it's the 3 range and the R and the X are just different shapes, and there's some logic to that. Or you might think it's the other end and it's the X11, which offers you, the later numbering means the greater the tech. Nope, completely wrong. It's the R6. Right in the middle. Makes no sense. I feel like, to be honest, the best naming scheme originated from Zowie. Their naming scheme of having 1 or 2 letters at the front which indicates the shape, the number then after that indicates the size, the letters then after that indicate the iteration of that shape that you're buying. I.e., if you bought an EC2, you have an ergo shape that's a medium size. If you then bought the EC2C, you have then got the 3rd iteration of that mouse with all the improved benefits. It's very easy to understand. If you want to stay with that shape, get that. If you want to change shapes, different letters. I'm going to list out 2 more negatives and then focus on the products as a whole. I'm not going to take the time to delve into each product. Other creators who are far better than I am have done that already. I'm also not going to focus on the negatives too badly because we do have to take into consideration that these are fully wireless 8000 Hz optical switch mice for 50 quid. However, that being said, the first frustration for me would probably be build quality and by extension longevity. I've picked up these mice, I've used them for a number of weeks at this point, and each one of them I can, squeeze and I feel it give, or something just irks the wrong way and it doesn't give you the full confidence. And when I've held my VXE, my Logitech, my Razer mice, I don't get that same feeling. It's not enough to affect me in-game right now, so there's nothing to be concerned about, but I'm thinking 2-3 years down the line, how's that gonna fare with wear and tear? I'm a poet and I didn't even know it. To be honest, I'm sure it'll be fine, but the old adage of buy cheap, buy twice just rings in my head somewhere, The third and final frustration for me is availability. It's very easy for little Timmy to convince his parents, or if he saved up summer money or whatever the situation is, to pop onto Amazon and get a Logitech G502 for 25-30 quid, than it is to convince the same person to spend 50 quid on this random seller they've never heard of before on AliExpress. I'm going to put it out there, I did my research and I've never had a problem myself with AliExpress. But that doesn't mean to say that there aren't scammers out there waiting to prey on people who don't have the awareness that we all do. Now that I've kind of got that out of the way, I want to focus on these mice as a whole. I'm honestly shocked at these mice. Their feature set, their clicks, their feel, the coating, all of it feels great for the price. They're stock skates, albeit they're not great, but I tell you what, they're better than the Logitech ones. And yeah, they don't sound great on glass pads, but if you're into that sort of level of peripheralness, you're probably buying other skates anyway. I'll be honest, for the price, I cannot fathom how, unless you really were into this scene, or you really were convinced by a particular mouse shape, or you really wanted a particular feature, why you would kind of buy anything else. Unless you're wanting to jump up, and I mean up, into the Logitech G Pro Superlight realm of price. I just don't see why you would bother. There are so many options now available, but the key point here with all of this, on both the negatives, the positives, one of the things that you have to do if you're going to buy a budget gaming mouse is do your research. I have seen almost an infinite number of TikTok videos that do not know what they're talking about, and all they care about is their commission. So they will sell you an 11 quid piece of absolute because they get some money out of it. The mice could be absolutely useless. They don't care about you, they care about their wallets. And you can tell that, I can tell that when I'm watching these videos, and it's infuriating. I've proven to myself, to be honest, more than anything else, that great mice can be found all across the globe. It's just not easy to find the right shape, the right specs, the right features, the right weight, and the right price. And that's the bit that's now exhausting. So I just want to end the video by this. These mice are great. Please do your research. If you are watching this video and you're one of those individuals who's thinking about getting a budget gaming mouse, whether you are starting in the gaming mouse scene or whether you need something for your setup, do your research. But ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be it for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the content, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. I've got another video coming out, hopefully very soon, about the new PC build that I did. That's already done. I just need to actually get to filming some of it. So hopefully that won't be a month's time like this one. But in the meantime, thank you all so much for watching. Much love. Goodbye.
Nice.
That was fun.